Hey, Donald. Mike Behringer from the group. I wanted to make this video for you. It's Saturday. I just wanted to get this to you because I didn't want too much time to pass. So you mentioned wanting to see studies, and I pulled up some things I have here on my computer. I'm at my house. I'm home. So I'm going to try and just, whoops. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. Now I'll share my whole screen, right? So, okay, here. Right, so here are about 157 pages of studies. And my intention, again, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm a nurse. I've been in healthcare forever. I know some truths. I've seen patients. We can get it. We can get there. But my intention is just to spread the word, because it's disgusting to me that people don't know there are options, that they don't need to listen here. Let me stop share for a second. There's options. Okay. I've seen a lot of suffering in my career, right? But I've seen a lot of amazing things. And it is disgusting to me that people with neuropathy don't know this information. It doesn't work for everybody, but for your average neuropathy that starts in the feet and gets to pain and numbness and all that stuff, we know that happens. All right. So let me just show you around the best I can. So I got to share again. All right. I tried to find some things to make it easier for me to communicate this. All right. So here's 157 pages of studies. I'm happy to send them to you. Okay. Augmentation of wound healing using monochromatic infrared energy. So what that is, well, the results of this study show wounds heal and the onset of diabetic wounds decrease considerably. Maybe I should go over here. All right, so here's just kind of a breakdown of these studies over here, so we know what we're talking about. All of these studies show that there was a substantial reduction in impairment of foot sensation. Absolutely. What does that mean? 97% of patients, they got better sensory. They felt more, meaning the numbness went away. 92% of patients got pain reduction, right? Average pain direction, 60%. I know this all sounds crazy, right? Because we've gone to our doctors, right? What are our traditional doctors doing? And then we've been seeing them for decades, right? We go in with these symptoms and we have tests. We can't sleep. We get sleeping pills, pain pills, gabapentin, nerve studies. But the reason people feel symptoms of neuropathy is the same in most all cases, right? So let me just jump here then. My hand represents a nerve cell, right? We got millions of them. This palm is the body of the nerve that does all the things that it does. And the fingers are the little blood vessels that supply this nerve cell and millions others with oxygen and nutrients, right? So when you have diabetes, when you have, chemotherapy from cancer treatment or Agent Orange exposure or back injuries, and the list goes on and on, there's about 100 different things, right? But one of the main components in all of those things that's common is it causes those little blood vessels to start to shrink up, right? It's a circulation problem. And go to our doctors. Again, we have those tests, if we can't sleep, sleeping pill, pain pill, antidepressant, whatever, right? And this continues to happen. So what these studies are talking about is that we know how our bodies make new blood vessels, right? It's very simple. We do it every day. We get a cut, the blood flow comes back. Hearts make collateral circulation. It's a process. It's called angiogenesis. That's why I ask sometimes people know that word, angiogenesis. So the way our body normally performs that function is we eat and drink things that give us the ingredients for a substance called nitric oxide, and that's then stored in the cells, right? And that's kind of like a trigger for new blood vessel formation, right? So in our normal days, we go out into the sun and we're exposed to rays of light. Some give us sunburn, some are good, vitamin D, this, that, and the other. but specifically around that 880, 890 nanometer light wave is what's going in and releasing that nitric oxide. And what that does is that starts blood vessels to start to grow. As we age, it slows down. And when we have things like neuropathy, that the normal way our body does that is in no way equipped to keep up with the deterioration. You are definitely right in a lot of your posts, and you are dead on. Neuropathy is a progressive condition that will become debilitating. But the only thing that's missing out of that is it'll only become debilitating if it's not treated properly. And in the world that I live in and work in, I'm a subject matter expert in, it's root cause healing. And neuropathy is one of the main things I know some stuff about. So what is being helpful for people is they're provided with the amino acids, the trace elements, the building blocks of nitric oxide, the ingredients, right? So we get those into our body. They're a powder. They're not a shot. They're nothing like that. So now our cells are just, packed with the ability to make nitric oxide and cause blood vessels to grow. But you couldn't stand out naked in the sun for 24 hours a day. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't be enough. Right. So going back to this, this light therapy stuff, or this monochromatic infrared photo energy, and here's study after study after study, wound healing, right? Boom, look what it does. Bang, bang, bang. Good. There. And I don't want to show graphic images, but this is the reality of it. Right? So this monochromatic infrared photo energy, it goes by many names: photobiomodulation, low-level light therapy. But what it does is it was discovered by NASA over 50 years ago for wound healing. All right. And the reason wounds don't heal is because they don't get enough oxygen and nutrients, right? If you've known anybody who's had a wound, diabetics are worried about wounds, amputations, those people know that the last line of defense before having to have an amputation is hyperbaric chambers, right? And that's when none of the other antibiotics work, nothing. So they put people in a pressurized environment, oxygen rich, high oxygen content. We take that dressing off, and it's trying to drive oxygen into the wound from the outside, right? Because that's what it needs to heal. It's a long process, doesn't work all the time, right? All right, so this light technology, when it builds blood vessels from the inside out, as our body is meant to heal, is way, way more effective. And that's a complete understatement. Right? So there's a device that's prescribed by natural healing doctors that is that light wave, that 880 nanometer light wave. And they wear that device for 30 minutes a foot. If it's really bad, two encounters of that, but it works. And I understand all this sounds foreign, because it is, if we only know what we know, which unfortunately is that of our traditional medical system, right? They can only pass on the information that they know, right? And they're taxed, they're stressed out too. So the speed, right? When do people start feeling things? The vast majority start feeling noticeable and lasting improvements in about 3 to 4 weeks. And it only gets better. The reason, if you made it this far, fantastic. I'm excited, because the only reason, I'm here is to help people. And it pains me when I know that people aren't getting help. And in these support groups, they're so hard for me to see, because I know there's hope for many, many people with this problem. But we've been programmed to believe that if our insurance doesn't cover it all, or if my doctor doesn't know about it, or if the FDA, this, that, or the other, right? Let's think about it. 5,000 years of Chinese medicine, originally herbs and plants derived to some of our great medications that save so many lives, but we have a reactive society that focuses on symptoms. Let me see if I have something else I can show you. Got those studies. Oh yeah, here. Okay. I don't treat patients anymore, but I was the director of a neuropathy program for 4 years and changed the lives of a lot of people. This is one of the patients I treat. His name's Pete. You may hear my voice in this.
Well, I've been a diabetic for a period of time, but over the last year or so, I've been a diabetic for a period of time, but over the last year or so, my feet have been causing an issue with me. They've been burning, they hurt, I can't walk like I used to. So I asked my internist, I said, Doctor, I have this problem. What is it? He says, well, you diabetes this is causing your problem with your feet. I said, okay, we know what's causing it. How do we treat it? He says, there's nothing you can do. You got to live with this for the rest of your life. Well, that kind of disturbed me, okay, because I don't like what's happening. It's progressively getting worse. If it was staying the same or mitigating a little bit, it'd be one thing, but it's getting worse. At night, I couldn't really sleep because my feet would hurt so much. Now I don't even feel anything when I'm sleeping, so I get a good night's sleep now. You have a different outlook at life.
Right. And I mean, he sleeps now. Let's see. Well, I mean, I could give you testimonial after testimonial, but the results are there. The studies are there. Anyway, I'd love to answer any questions you have. I'd love to get on a Zoom call like this and speak face to face and my best case scenario, because I'm a person that always looks at best case scenario in life. It's the only reason I'm alive today, right? We could talk about that if we become friends. But best case scenario is you get a better understanding of this. Hopefully you get relief. Right? And then you're already an advocate for your fellow neuropathy sufferers. I see that. It hurts me. I know you, right? As a patient, right? I've treated patients for 4 years. I know you're skeptical. I know you're afraid. I know that this is a really scary disease. You just keep going to appointments and try different things, and the scamming, right? Let's really address that. Wow, it is so hard for me to break through to folks because the number of just horrible people out there that are profiting off of yours and other people's pain. Not yours, because you're not going to fall for that. But Donald, and if anyone else ever sees this, I am here to help. I am a patient advocate. I'm here in my home on Saturday morning. You might hear my 7-year-old son out there making noise. We're about to, go out. This is my home office. I've got, that was me when I was a captain in the Air Force. I was a trauma nurse. I got awarded the Air Force Achievement Medal. It says some neat things there. I am not a scam. I am not here to hurt anyone. So anyway, I'm passionate, and I'll go on and on if be. So I hope this gets to you. I hope you see it. I'm gonna download it, and I'll put it on a YouTube link. and hopefully we can talk, because I'd love to. I would love to talk. Anytime, to anyone, message me. All right. Thanks so much. I hope to talk to you soon. God bless.